2, T.J. Warren and NC State travel to Florida to face Ryan Brown and Miami. But now, welcome to Panther Country as Pitt hosts Virginia Tech on ACC College Hoops. We welcome you to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Peterson Events Center. For our matchup today, it's the Pittsburgh Panthers, ranked number 25 in the country, hosting the Virginia Tech Hokies. It is great to have you with us for our game this afternoon. Tom Wormy, along with Mike Jaminski. And Mike, for these Pitt Panthers, Lamar Patterson, the senior from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, leads them in scoring. But what a game he had against Miami on Wednesday in overtime. For that reason, Mike, he is our Hardy's star to watch.
Well, he's having an all-conference player of the year type of year, and he showed it in Miami. Basically took that game over. He had struggled in the prior 2 games, but came up with 25 points against the Hurricanes, 10 of those in overtime. Now for Virginia Tech, Jarrell Eddy, 14 points on the year, but has really struggled the last 2 games, 9 points total. Teams have locked in on him defensively. He's going to have a big game today.
All right, Mike. Pittsburgh has won the last 4 meetings between the teams, but they haven't played in this building since 2004. Here we are 10 years later for your 4 keys to the game, Pittsburgh and Virginia Tech.
Well, for Virginia Tech, they've got to manufacture some offense. They're playing against a very tough D. Pitt gives up 60 points a game. For the Panthers, back to the boards. They've been out-rebounded in their last 3. That was a point of emphasis for Jamie Dixon.
And Pittsburgh won that game back in 2004 here at the Peterson Events Center. Coming up next, we'll have those starting lineups. And the opening tip, it's the Hokies and the Panthers. This is ACC College Hoops.
Headed out of
ACC College Hoops is brought to you by Hardy's, Ford, Direct Auto Insurance, and by Toyota. Pittsburgh in its first year as a member of the Atlantic Coast Conference here at the Peterson Events Center on a Saturday afternoon where the Panthers are so dominant, winning 90% of their games in this building. Time to take a look at the starting lineups for our game this afternoon. And for the Virginia Tech Hokies, number 15, Ben Melagu, who averages over 11 points per game, but as a freshman has been elected one of the captains for this Virginia Tech team. He is battling a right ankle injury. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the ball game. For the Pittsburgh Panthers, the leading rebounder, number 42, Talib Zana. Over 7.5 rebounds per game. That is 5th best And the ACC got to double figures against Miami on Wednesday with 10 points for Zana in that overtime victory for Pittsburgh, 59-55 in Coral Gables to stop a 2-game losing streak. As we told you, the Panthers have won the last 4 in a row, 8 overall meetings between the teams. And they played in the Big East tournament back in 04. That was their last meeting, but now they are both official members of the ACC, Mike.
Well, Tom, you look at it and you would think this could be a game where Pitt players might be looking past Virginia Tech because of the record, but they've lost their last 2 games here at home, so they're going to be locked in.
Yeah, those 2 losses against Duke and Virginia, but the win against Miami stopping that losing streak. Pittsburgh's in the white, Virginia Tech in the maroon and orange in the opening tap, controlled by the Panthers.
And you're going to see, just because of the lack of bodies, a lot of zone for the Hokies. And I think for the Miami game, probably a good prep game against them because they play virtually all zone.
And the first 3 points of the game belong to Pittsburgh. That's a 3 from Cameron Wright.
And he's not known as a great 3-point shooter. He's more of a driver and a slasher. So a good start for him offensively.
Pittsburgh will get the ball back, and for Wright, Mike, it is just his 7th made 3 of the season. The head coach is Jamie Dixon, and he loves the way they started this game.
Well, and that was just a great play by James Robinson, who plays well. He's a sophomore, but a terrific player. The drive into the lane and the kick out for the open look.
Melligu picked up the foul for Virginia Tech. This Pittsburgh team is 19-4 overall. 7-3 in the ACC in its inaugural season, and 12-2 overall here at the Peterson Events Center. 12th year in this facility. Zana open, just a little strong, and tracked down by Devin Wilson.
Not a lot of movement against the zone by Pitt early on here. They've been trying to get people into the middle of the lane.
Trying to work off the screen. Shot clock down to 8. Eddie, aggressive move over Zana, who altered the shot, and the follow is a slam for Virginia Tech, and they get their first points. Van Zegren.
Well, you know, they lost to Florida State, talking about Virginia Tech last time out, Tom, but they did out-rebound them, and they had 16 offensive rebounds in that game.
Virginia Tech, though, Mike, has lost 9 in a row. Has not won since December 31st. And an easy 2 at the other end. Michael Young.
Yeah, really nice feed by Lamar Patterson when we talk about his scoring ability, but he also makes plays as well, averages 4 assists a game.
Mike, you mentioned that game for Virginia Tech on Wednesday, a loss at Florida State, 70-50. Virginia Tech shot only 34% in that game. They're one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the league, but only went 5 of 21 against Florida State.
And here's the look, and it's the drive, and this is, again, a tough start. I mean, if that one goes down for Eddie, you know, that helps him out. It's a good cleanup by Van Zegren inside.
Pittsburgh ranked number 25 in the nation. Shot clock is at 8. Robinson, 3-pointer.
Yeah, they've had 2 guys now make threes who don't have high percentages. Robinson right at 30. But Jamie Dixon eyes light up when he talks about James Robinson. Takes care of the basketball, the best assist-to-turnover ratio in the country. He's also their best perimeter defender.
Yeah, coming into the game, Mike, 92 assists to only 20 turnovers. Wilson cut off on the baseline.
Those are numbers you'd expect out of a 5th-year senior point guard, not a sophomore.
Shot clock down to 8, and there is a foul against Pittsburgh. It is Zana. First on Zana.
Well, here's the look, and then they come and double big, and interesting move, and you know, Van Zegren picks up the foul, but I don't know that Van Zegren's a guy that you need to double team down in the low block. I think you need to make him prove himself first.
Pittsburgh out to a 6-point lead in the early going of the first half. Eddy, three-pointer. Jarrell Eddy.
Well, he needed that badly. When we talked about his numbers, 1 of 12 from 3 in the last 2 games.
Only connected on 1 of 7 three-point attempts in that loss to Florida State by 20 on Wednesday for Jarrell Eddy. Right.
Well, Jamie Dixon, a little misinformation. He says, we don't score a lot from the three-point line coming into this game.
James Johnson has watched him knock down 3-pointers for Pittsburgh, 3 three-pointers. James Robinson has 1, and Cameron Wright has made 2. Derek Randall has come into the game for Pittsburgh, number 11. In fact, Pittsburgh is perfect from beyond the arc. Mike, 3 for 3.
Well, Cameron Wright really thought about taking that one in transition.
Out of the corner, Michael Young. And a timeout on the court. Virginia Tech.
James Johnson sees this game getting out of shape early, but in a way that you really don't anticipate it, Tom. We talked about it. They're down in the lower part of the league as far as made threes, but they have come out quickly here. Good mid-range jump shot by Michael Young.
So Virginia Tech has watched Pittsburgh go 5 of 6 overall from the floor to start the game. And here is the resume at a 19-4 record in that RPI at number 23 in the country, Mike.
Yeah, you got to think right now one of the 4 players, teams that are locks in the NCAA tournament right now, but they want to get back that home court advantage. And should they win this game, Tom, it would be the 11th year, all of the year that Jamie Dixon has been here, that they've won 20 games.
This Pittsburgh program has gone to the NCAA tournament 11 times in the last 12 years. 9 of those times under Jamie Dixon, 8 straight from 04 to 2011. And on 2 occasions, they had one of the 4 #1 seeds in the tournament, Van Zegeren, at the doorstep, and he's got 4.
Yeah, they're working him outside in. He's setting some screens and then rolling into the lane. Nice play that time. Only averaging 5 points a game, but they're going to need more offense from him in this game.
Pittsburgh is yet to turn it over. They have 5 assists. Patterson tried to drop it low, could not collaborate with his teammate Derek Randall. As turnover number 1.
Nice defense, Tom.
Knocked away from Thompson. This is right. On the run. They tried to return him the basketball, and James Robinson could not bounce it to his teammate. Our first time out from the Peterson Events Center. And it's a 6-point lead for Pittsburgh.
So.
with a 13-7 lead, and this is how they built the time, working inside out. You get the drive against the zone. It compresses. Three-point shot there, and then another drive. Good kick out that time by Michael Young to an open three-point shooter. And then to see this next shot, same result, the double team down low. Good recognition, actually a triple team. And Cameron Wright coming up big. So far, Pitt 5 of 6 from the floor, 3 of 3 from 3.
And how about Cameron Wright, Mike? 6 made threes coming into the game. He's already made 2.
Well, you know what? For Virginia Tech, you've got to make choices. And they're in the zone. They're going to collapse. And this is not, as we said, this is not known as a three-point shooting team. I'm talking about Pitt. But they're making shots.
Raines has to kick it back out to Wilson. Eddie, long range 3. Off the side of the rim and out of bounds.
Talk about our 6th man of the game. Jamel Artis really played well over his last 4 games. A little different from Michael Young. He can step out and shoot the 3, more of a stretch 4.
Jamel Artis, our Motel 6, 6th man of the game, in there wearing number 1 for the Pittsburgh Panthers. Cameron Wright, is he feeling it?
Had the thermometer out on that shot. I want to see how warm he was.
Wilson, a shifty move. Couldn't get the ball up on the rim, lost it out of bounds. And it is now back to Pittsburgh. Jamel Artis is a freshman. 6'7" from Baltimore, Maryland. Pretty solid the last 4 games, Mike, and he's getting some minutes as well.
Yeah, like I said, he's a counterpoint to Young and plays a little bit differently, a little thinner. But does give them some shooting and quick jump of the basketball. Oh, nice. That's surprise Pitt right there. That quick double team, and then get the Chris Jones picks up the foul. Good strong double. Good knifing in that time by Jarrell Eddie.
The 25, Will Johnston, is into the game for Virginia Tech. He's in the bottom left of your screen right now, coming to the top of the key.
You know, we've talked a lot about James Robinson, but Devin Wilson having a really nice season as a freshman point guard for the Hokies.
Thompson. Weak side fight for the loose ball. It's Eddie. Drew a quick double. Will Johnston against Florida State, Mike, had a career-high tying 12 points, but was 4 of 7 from three-point range. Also a career in made threes in a game.
While playing more minutes just because of injury and illness, it's really depleted this Virginia Tech team.
They did get Marshall Wood back. There are a handful of players who did not make the trip, and with the shot clock winding down to 8, it is a basket from Trevor Thompson, his first of the game.
Well, and his minutes have expanded as well, and they want to get him as much court time as they can. They really love his upside. They think he can be a tremendous player. That was a nice post move.
Here's a steal for Virginia Tech. Pass from Johnston to Wilson. Back to the trailer, and it is Thompson laying it up and in.
I think Pitt a little bit of sleep right now, and Jamie Dixon wants a timeout. His team very sluggish, not making good decisions at all. And he is not happy.
Mike, the Hokies are now on a 6-0 run.
Yeah, and then that zone is very active. And we talked about Will Johnston coming in. Good defensive play at the top of that zone.
So Pittsburgh has not scored in the last 3 minutes and 7 seconds. And the lead has dwindled to just 2. And you can see Jamie Dixon is getting his point across in an emphatic fashion in that huddle, Mike Tominski.
Yeah, no, this is the 12:20 in the afternoon wake-up call.
That's
Maybe
right.
It came a little bit late for the Panthers.
You know, Mike, we did a game earlier in the season at Notre Dame against Indiana State, and the Fighting Irish came out a little sluggish in that one. You said you didn't like to play these early games for the most part.
Yeah, it sounds, you know, 2 o'clock is about as early as but a 12 o'clock start really compresses your preparation leading into the game and almost has to start the night before, and you really have to get a good warm-up and come ready to play. And I thought that Pitt did get off to a very good start, but a very resilient Hokie team right now staying in it.
Pittsburgh definitely started out well, 5 of 6 from the floor. Since then, just 0 for 1 and 4 turnovers for the Panthers. And a 2-point game inside the 12-minute mark here in the first half. Tom Wormy, Mike Jaminski, and our outstanding ACC production crew. Zana, offensive glass against Reigns, who stood his ground, out of bounds, and to the Panthers. There is a timeout on the court. 11:49 to go in the first half. Pittsburgh with a slim lead. Point lead, but Mike, so far, the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, Jarrell Eddy, has been a factor for the Hokies.
Yeah, missed the layup, but comes back and knocks down a 3 right there. He's been very effective on both ends of the floor. The good feed that time inside to Van Zegeren, making the nice steal, drawing the foul there. And then again, we talked about his offensive rebounding capabilities. So nice start for him in this game. He's coming off a couple of rough outings, getting a little bit of a break right now.
Eddie leads the team with those 13.9 points per game. He's a 1,000-point scorer, and he can be explosive. 6 times this season, he's gone for 20 points or more for the Hokies.
Let's see, Tom. I always love watching to see how teams come out of timeout when their coach is upset. Let's see what the execution is like here.
Jones, now right. Shot clock to 7. Van Zegeren at the rim defensively.
That zone has been pretty effective, and some good interior work by Reigns and Van Zegeren.
Johnston is trying to get it to Reigns. He's well defended by Zana. Shot clock inside of 10 for the Hokies. Melagu straight on NBA range, and he knocks it down.
And that's you think Virginia Tech going to be very deliberate in their offense, run the shot clock down, shorten this game as much as they can. But that was a deep 3 from Melagu.
And Virginia Tech is on a 9-0 run and has taken its first lead of the ball game, Mike, 14-13.
Talk about Pitt having lost their last 2 games here now, obviously to top-tier teams in Virginia and Duke. But they've given the Hokies some confidence early.
That was Wright driving on the baseline. There will be a foul on the play.
You look at Melagu, we're talking, that was a nice kick out there. Good ball movement. 5 feet behind the three-point line. Amelagu comes in 36% from 3. What a good start for him. He's been battling some injury issues. They really need him to get back to 100% healthy.
Yeah, Amelagu was on the Florida State trip, and they practiced Tuesday night prior to the Wednesday game, and he re-injured the right ankle, so it's heavily taped. He's favoring it. Did not make a 3 in that game against Florida State.
One of the rare freshmen I've ever seen named captain of a team. He shows what his abilities are off the floor as well and what his teammates think of him.
Yeah, I talked to him before the game, Mike. He said it is still very painful, but he's getting some rest and feeling better, and obviously the three-point shot looked pretty good on that last offensive sequence for the Hokies. Inside of 10 minutes of the first half.
Normally, if you have a lower extremity injury, it's going to show up on your jump shot.
So Darian Raines goes high to get that one, and it's over 5 minutes now. Pittsburgh has not scored a basket. Wilson, some nifty dribbling. Zana comes down with it. Deserved the better fate on that one, possibly, Mike.
We have not heard from Lamar Patterson yet in this game. He's not been a part of the offense at all.
Wright flying to the goal, and he spins it in. Chance for a three-point play. Cameron Wright.
Yeah, and that's more of his game. We talked about 23% from 3, but he loves the middle drive to get into the lane. A lot of guards get in trouble. They take it too far. That, just good, strong finish inside. Avoided Trevor Thompson inside, but a good finish.
65% on the season from the line for Cameron Wright, who gets the old school three-point play, and he now has 9 points in the game. So Pittsburgh went 6 minutes and 4 seconds between field goals before Wright completed that three-point play.
Really, without Wilson on the floor, Amelagu running the point.
Wright tracks it down for Pittsburgh. Patterson, a bullet pass to Sana, who has the finish.
Well, we talked about Patterson, 18 points a game, but he is very unselfish. A lot of players at this point might be looking for their own shot, but that was a terrific pass inside.
Zana, who averages close to 13 points per game, as his first of the afternoon. Eddie rattles out.
Had a good screen by Trevor Thompson. Had a good look.
Young with a nice catch to keep it in play. Here is Patterson. Thompson the rebound for Virginia Tech.
I think that may be his first field goal attempt of the game.
And indeed it was, Mike. So Lamar Patterson, who leads the team with close to 18 points per game. Amelagu in traffic. Thompson relieves him.
Trevor Thompson earning those minutes out on the floor, showing 15-foot range.
And the longer the Hokies hang around with the number 25 team, Mike, the confidence level continues to grow for Virginia Tech.
That's the last thing you want to have happen, too, is a road team come in and feel comfortable in your building.
Patterson's off the mark, and Johnston has it.
Well, we'll say, I mean, you look at his right hand, he's taped up. We're talking about Patterson. He's got that thumb. It's a thumb injury, and it's clearly affecting his shooting here early.
Keep in mind, Patterson had 25 points to lead the way in an overtime win on Wednesday at Miami for this Pittsburgh team. Pittsburgh on Robinson. How about the pass from Patterson? Whizzing by the defense to Zana. We've got a 2-point game with exactly 7 minutes to go in the first half. And just moments ago here at center court, Dr. Patrick Gallagher officially announced as the 18th chancellor in the history of the University of Pittsburgh. What a moment for Dr. Gallagher, who's currently, Mike, serving as the acting deputy secretary of the U.S. Department of Commerce and director of National Institute of Standards and Technology. He becomes the chancellor here at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's
incredible.
That's quite a resume right there.
Yep.
Got a very warm reception from not just the students, but the crowd here as well.
And a former Pittsburgh grad as well. We're at the Peterson Event Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So glad you could join us. Tom Wormy and Mike Jaminski with you.
Pitt coming out of that timeout, going zone, changing up their defense a little bit.
Wilson. Tough pass to handle for Thompson. Rolled out of bounds and back to Pittsburgh.
Well, you like the fact that it was a bounce pass, but it was just a little too low. It skidded along the ground. Thompson really had no chance to catch it.
James Johnson is in his second season as the head coach at Virginia Tech, as a former assistant from 2007 to 2012 under Seth Greenberg.
He was down in Clemson for about 12 days. and then Seth Greenberg got fired, and the call came from Virginia Tech.
Another misfire for the Panthers, who had such a great rhythm to open the game, went 5 of 6 from the floor, but since then they have cooled off considerably. Johnston trying to get freed up for that three-point shot. I'm sure he got a lot of recognition in the film study room based on his performance against Florida State with his 4 3-pointers. Shot clock goes down to 8. It's Eddie out of the corner. Mike, that is all net.
I'll tell you what, he's showing a little bit more confidence right here, and that was a contested jump shot as well. James Robinson coming out and getting a hand on it. But that would be a huge lift for Virginia Tech if Jarrell Eddie rediscovers his confidence.
Eddie's got a couple of three-pointers to his credit here in the first half with just over 5 minutes remaining. Inside out for Robinson. Patterson.
Yeah, that thumb is his game is not right. It's the second time that he has missed everything on a jump shot.
And he is 0 for 3 from the floor in the game.
And if that doesn't come back, I mean, he may have to start working more inside and on the perimeter.
Virginia Tech is just 1-9, Mike, in conference play. That only win came December 8th at Miami in overtime, 61-60, as the Hokies turn it over. 5th time in the first half. Johnston, the anticipation, but the fans have it in the front row, and Pittsburgh will maintain possession. So Lamar Patterson favoring that thumb. Still yet to get into the box score as the leading scorer for Pittsburgh. Not only that, Mike, that's
a lot
off best in the conference too.
That's a lot of offense to make up for.
It's 18 points
for other guys to step up. Right now, Pitt with some man principles up top, trying to screen in the top of that zone.
So far, Wright is the leading scorer for Pittsburgh in the first half with 9. That's a three-pointer. Josh Newkirk, the 6'1 freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina, with a 3.
When you talk about people stepping up, I mean, Newkirk's already matched his season average on the year. Not a bad three-point shooter, but that's a good lift.
And the first bench points of the game for this Pittsburgh team. Shot clock inside of 10. Eddie in rhythm.
Yeah, this is it. All right, this is the good Jarrell Eddie showing up. This could be a 20-point afternoon for the young man. He is showing a lot of confidence. You can tell he's not even thinking about things right now, Tom. He's just shooting the basketball.
Patterson made the drive, but he was still on the floor. So the lead changing hands 5 times in this first half. A 1-point Tech lead.
What is
ACC College Hoops is brought to you by Motel 6, the presenting partner of ACC basketball on Fox Sports South. And indeed, Pittsburgh is a proud new member of the Atlantic Coast Conference. 15 teams strong this year as we lead our way to Greensboro in that ACC tournament. Jarrell Eddy, Mike, 3 of 5 from long distance for number 31.
And he's had a history, Tom, throughout his career at Virginia Tech of being up and down, but when he is on, he can be a very prolific scorer. And I can just tell there's not even a thought process right now. He's catching the ball and shooting it, not thinking about things.
Eddy now with 9 points. He is the leading scorer for Virginia Tech. Cameron Wright, who was so impressive in the opening minutes of this game, leads the way with 9 as Young turns around for the free throw line and misses. Thompson the rebound. In fact, he and Raines were both there for that rebound. No white jersey in sight.
Well, what Virginia Tech has to do, and they've been very deliberate in their offense, they're going to run clock, but they can't let any kind of run occur in this last 3 minutes. They have to finish out this half. They've done a great job of keeping this game in the range where they want it.
Stolen away, it's Patterson. Little 3-on-2. Count the basket. Newkirk.
And I'll tell you, it's, we talked about Patterson being all conference, and he has been unselfish, did a nice job. They got the turnover on the other end, and they turned it into points. Virtually nothing that Virginia Tech could do there defensively. And I mean, almost if you're Will Johnson, you just got to let that one go and not give him a three-point opportunity.
So Newkirk now has 6 as Wilson will come back in for Virginia Tech.
And this is what I'm talking about, Tom. Hokies have to be very careful right here and not let this one get away.
Virginia Tech in the first half, Mike, has shot 53% to stay in this game with number 25 Pittsburgh.
And for the most part, have taken care of the basketball too. I mean, they're getting shot opportunities.
That percentage is well above the season average of 41%, 7th in the ACC. That shot clock is down to 5. Sedarian Raines traveled before the move.
Well, they put him in a little bit of a bad situation. It was a pick and roll. He was too far from the basket, and he's not a guy who's going to do things off of the dribble.
Yeah, Raines was the leading scorer, Mike, on Wednesday against Florida State as Van Zegeren returns to the game. Raines had 13 points in the losing effort. 27 minutes off the bench for the Hokies for Sedarian Raines. Tough to defend that one. Zana with a chance at a three-point play.
Well, Pitt had some three-point shots early in the game, but this is more their style. Attacking inside against the zone, getting three-point play opportunities at the rim. Really good pass from the high post by Michael Young that time.
That is now 5 for Zana, as Jamel Artis will come back into the game for Pittsburgh. He is yet to score in the game.
I think if you're Virginia Tech, you have to realize what Jarrell Eddy and where he is right now and see if you can try to get him shots.
Eddy has 3 3-pointers in the first half. And Meligu dropped it off to Van Zegren, who bends the rim. And you could see Meligu as well, Mike, was favoring the right ankle after the play, but Van Zegren will have a chance at a three-point play.
He's really laboring, but he's a warrior, and that was a terrific drive and catch right there inside. Van Zegren giving him a little lift offensively. Yeah, Meligu is really struggling. He's really favoring that ankle.
Van Zegren only shoots 33% from the line on the season. He is, however, above his season average of 5 points per game, with 6 after the missed free throw. That is a man-sized rebound by Jarrell Eddy right there.
That's the one thing that he has consistently done throughout his career, rebound his position well. He's almost 6 rebounds a game.
That is the best on the team for this Virginia Tech squad. Eddy, quick pass. Van Zegren. How about a second effort, and he got it.
You wouldn't think that that's where Virginia Tech would have an advantage, but their bigs are playing very well in this game.
Great balance. Van Zegren with 8. Jarrell Eddy has 9, and Trevor Thompson has 6. Final minute of the first half, and a 1-point Pittsburgh lead. Patterson cut off.
He's not even looking for a shot right now. He had a jump shot opportunity there.
Zana against 2 defenders, and he traveled. Fifth turnover of the first half for the Pitt Panthers.
10 seconds between shot and game clock, so Pitt will get another opportunity. But this half could not have gone better for James Johnson and Virginia Tech. They couldn't have scripted it any better.
Meligu fighting the pain. Off of Raines and back to Meligu. Shot clock is off. 23 on the game clock.
Well, that time the perimeter players for Pitt fell asleep. There was a long rebound. Nobody looking after it.
So a chance for Virginia Tech to take the lead to the locker room if they wait for the last opportunity. 5 seconds and a foul. It was Newkirk.
And they had a foul to give in that. They've got a couple fouls to give, actually.
First on Newkirk. That's the 5th team foul with 5.4 seconds to go on Pittsburgh.
So if they want to foul again, they can.
And Meligu needs to shoot, and the clock runs out on Virginia Tech.
I tell you what, James Johnson was not happy about that at all. This team did not have any clock awareness.
So Pittsburgh has a 1-point lead. The Panthers 17-1 this season with that halftime lead.
How hot is 99 cents at Wendy's?
No, wait! I said my mouth was on fire.
99 cents has never been hotter with 2 new spicy Chipotle sandwiches.
Now that's better.
Welcome into the Wendy's Halftime Report. I'm from Saripapat. Coming up, we'll join the ESPN Buzzer Beater Network in progress to keep you up to date with all the action that is going on today. Buzzer Beater features unlimited live cut-ins, highlights, and analysis from the biggest matchups throughout college hoops. But first, it is time now for our Wendy's Wooden Award Watch Update. Today, we are looking at Syracuse freshman guard Tyler Ennis. He had big shoes to fill after Michael Carter-Williams left for the NBA, but he has stepped up quite nicely. Ennis is averaging over 12 points, 5 assists, and 3 boards per game, but it is not his stats that has the attention of NBA scouts. It is his leadership and basketball IQ at the point guard position. Up next for Cuse, they will host Clemson. That is on Sunday. Alrighty, as promised, we will get you up to date with everything that is going on today as we join the Buzzer Beater Network in progress. Just a reminder that Buzzer Beater is available through participating TV providers and live on Watch ESPN. Hope you enjoy it.
In this game, not only in it, but leading at this point.
Anthony Grant calling out the half-court set from the sideline. Obasahan running the point.
Last time they won in this gym, you're talking all the way in 95, they won. On a jump shot late in the game by Eric Washington at the buzzer, basically.
Cross court, and that's going to be a travel, so now Florida with a chance to tie the game. 95. Did you have hair back then still?
I'm going to tell you, man, listen to this. 95. You know who was on that team? Roy Rogers, Jason Caffey, McDice, all NBA first-round picks. Beat Lon Kruger. That was David Hobbs' club, 95. Washington, by the way, is from my area in the country where I live in Lakeland Ranch, Florida area, down in Bradenton, Sarasota.
Florida able to solve the zone the last couple of trips down the floor.
Yeah, going to the post and going opposite. Go to the opposite side from the post there, you get a wide open shot. There it is.
Young finding the open man. You get inside. Boy, he's filling his hat.
All is created, Mark, off the diagonal pass or, again, the skip pass, where you skip passing the ball to the guy next to you.
Does Alabama hold it for one here, Dick, and go into the locker room potentially with the lead, or do you keep playing?
No, I back it out. I take the last shot. You're the underdog, man. You got to go in, feel good about yourself. You don't want to turn it over and give them a chance maybe for a free.
Relaford back in the ball game handling, 8 on the clock. They double team him, take it out of his hands. Randolph raising up, a little bit strong, and that's going to be the end of the first half of play. Knotted at 36. Relaford doing a lot of the heavy lifting offensively for Alabama. He has 16.
Morehead State up 13 on Eastern Kentucky. This one winding down 4:16 to go, and this would be a bit of an upset because Eastern Kentucky has been playing as good as almost anybody in the Ohio Valley. Winners of 7 of the last 8 games after starting 0-2 in conference play.
Chasing Rick Byrd and Belmont in the OVC.
Both teams 1 loss behind those Bruins.
Really good shooting team, Eastern Kentucky from the stripe. 75%.
Probably think about a bigger picture. In both of these teams, in my opinion, with enough weapons, enough experience to where you catch them on the right day come March, it's not going to be your kind of afternoon because they're so explosive. They do it in different ways, but I think that both of these teams comes to national, the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament, will be tough outs.
Belmont and Murray State, class of the league right now. Eastern Kentucky, Morehead State, right on their heels. Nice shot fake. Good patience, good poise.
6 to shoot for Arrington. Out to Story, and he turns it over. Big shot here for Williams. Orlando Williams for 3. Williams now with 11 points. And here comes the crowd. And McBrayer Arena ready to erupt. Instead, Walden will turn it over.
That's what Eastern Kentucky needed, a 3-point shot. The 50-year senior, Orlando Williams.
That one getting good, and, well, this is getting good on Buzzer Beater. We've got a lot of tight games at the half. Tim McCormick and Chris Hassel here. Georgia Tech up 1 against Virginia at home. We have Virginia Tech only down 1 at Pittsburgh, and a tie game between Alabama and Florida. So going to be some entertaining second halves. Those 3 teams are combined 7-23 in conference play, but playing well against 3 ranked teams. One ranked team going on the road against a team that's been ranked for much of this year, Texas, going to K-State today. What are you looking for in that matchup?
Texas started out in Big 12 play this year 0-2. Their problems were very obvious, high turnovers, and they also had issues with giving up free throws. They fouled nonstop. As a matter of fact, their first 3 opponents in Big 12 play shot a combined 100 free throws. Now they've changed things. Isaiah Taylor has solidified their point guard position. He's a very solid distributor of the ball. He makes big shots. But really, the power is Cameron Ridley, big studly post guy that's lost weight. He's sculpted his body a little bit more, not completely sculpted yet. And also Jonathan Holmes, who's made big shots. Remember, they beat Kansas in the Big 12, and that really shows that they're capable of great things.
You mentioned Jonathan Holmes. He's coming off one of the best games of his career. Holmes, 20 points, a career-high 16 rebounds, and they needed all of it against TCU. The Horned Frogs still winless in conference play, but they gave Texas everything it can handle in the last game out on Tuesday night. A 5-point victory for Texas, and Jonathan Holmes was a major part of it.
And even though this game at TCU was against one of the lower teams in the conference, it still is impressive to show the growth of going on the road and taking care of business. This is a game that last year Mike Kabongo and crew would have lost. Really good improvement so far by Rick Barnes' team. And I've got to believe with the dismissal of Mac Brown, Rick Barnes came into this year worried about his own position, and he has really solidified his spot.
Starting 0-2, the place was half empty down there in Austin. Now all of a sudden just a game out of first place. And the stat that really jumps out from that TCU game is the fact that Texas had 25 offensive rebounds. TCU had 25 rebounds total. Texas, one of the best rebounding teams in the country.
They're big.
That's what makes them so good.
They're powerful. And when, if we're going to talk Texas Longhorns, we got to put it in football context. The rebounding and the interior play is the equivalent of blocking and tackling, and they're very good with the fundamentals.
Wichita State tonight, unbeaten, still 24-0, going to Northern Iowa, a team you think Wichita State should beat. But Northern Iowa's pretty good at home.
They are good. Ben Jacobson has good history there. He took over from Coach McDermott, who's now at Creighton. What I look at with this Northern Iowa team, they've got to play their best game of the year. If you look at their last month, they have lost 5 of their last 7, talking about Northern Iowa. They're going to have to amp things up. They're a pretty good shooting team, and it's going to be very difficult to deal with the balance of Wichita State. Baker knocks down threes. Cleanthony Early is solid in the post. Fred VanVleet is clutch, and his leadership is really good. I love what I've seen from Wichita State, and right now you'd have to say that if you were trying to predict, they're more likely to run the table in the regular season than they would be to lose.
And Wichita State had a really tough game on Wednesday at Indiana State. The Sycamores were very close to knocking off Wichita State in that game. In fact, if a certain charge block call would have gone the other way, Wichita State may be coming off a loss. How do you handicap the Shockers' rebounding game on the glass?
I see them being very strong. I like the balance that they bring, meaning that they don't have a guaranteed 6'10" type of rebounder that's going to get you 8 to 10 every game, but they seem to do it as a team. They share the ball. On different games, there are different stars. So you're never really sure from a scouting report standpoint, who do you focus on? This is a good rivalry, though, and it's the Chicago Bulls challenge. When the Bulls went on the road, they faced everybody's best shot. That's what's happening to Wichita State. It's a hot ticket wherever they go in the Valley.
Last year, Wichita State made it to the Final Four. Their motto was playing angry. They've continued it this season. How do they play angry? Why do they play angry? Take a look.
Just because the jersey made it to the Final Four last year doesn't mean that they get to now.
That's awesome that they did it. I don't know that this ranking corresponds with who they really are this year.
A lot of critics would say that we're not playing anybody. They like to disrespect our conference.
women major. We don't deserve, I guess, certain exposure that we get.
What a take by Van Fleet.
I would answer any critics that says they don't respect what we're doing to come watch us play. If you walk away unimpressed, then so be it. We're probably not going to be able to change your mind.
They're the nicest guys in the world off the court. They're just, unfortunately, they're a little too nice at times, and they haven't gotten angry enough.
The story behind Play Angry originated with Antoine Carr and Xavier McDaniel being back last season.
He said, how would you feel if someone came into your house and tried to take something from you? You have to be angry about that, so go out there and play angry and protect everything that you work hard to build.
Our guys were drawn to it and gave us a rallying cry and helped us achieve a Final Four run.
Wichita State going to the Final Four for the first time in 48 years.
To me, play angry means to play the game the right way, play like your hair's on fire, like coaches say.
Being the first to the floor for a loose ball, wanting it more than the opposition, willing to sacrifice.
We hope you enjoy the fast action coverage from ESPN's Buzzer Beater Network. We will continue to provide this service Wednesday nights and all day Saturday throughout the college basketball season. That will do it for the Wendy's Halftime Report. I'm Prim Sarifapat. Enjoy the second half.
ACC College Hoops is brought to you by the official corporate champions of the ACC. AT&T, Ruby Tuesday, and by Haviland. The Peterson Event Center, the site of our game this afternoon. Pittsburgh with a 1-point lead against Virginia Tech, 27-26. As we are just about set to crank up the second half. Here's a look at the top scorers for each team. Eddy and Wright lead the way with 9 each for the Hokies and Panthers, respectively. Newkirk a bit of a surprise with his 6 points. That's above his season average of just 3 per game.
Again, Pitt's leading scorer, Lamar Patterson, 0 for 3. Only took 3 shots, all of those 3-point attempts in that first half.
Virginia Tech has to feel great about where it stands right now, especially playing in this building, Mike, where Pittsburgh wins 89% of their games against the opposition. That's a push against Pittsburgh. Michael Young picked up the foul. First on Young.
And, you look at the rebounding numbers too, Tom, that 3 of Pitt's rebounds in the first half were team rebounds, meaning the ball going out over the backboard and everything, so it wasn't an actual person getting a rebound, so it even makes it more dramatic.
Virginia Tech without a couple of players on the roster who could not travel in Smith and Barksdale. A Meligu for 3. Wow, Mike.
And you can still see limping, but out on the floor, he's a tough kid. And right now, in Virginia Tech, I would imagine Tom is going to continue to be deliberate to really run the clock down and see if they can get a good shot late.
Meligu now has 6 points on a couple of made threes. Patterson trying to get into the offensive flow desperately, and a foul on the play.
Here's the look, the good swing. Eddy really draws a lot of attention. See, the ball went inside, outside, changed sides of the floor. Really good offensive set.
Right. Van Segrin, the rejection. Thompson on the alley-oop, couldn't handle it from Wilson.
Pitt lucky there, big slow getting back.
Robinson tried to go to the basket and he got fouled in the process. Meligu, second on him. So some quick transition play here, Mike.
Yeah, you look at Robinson, only averages 8 points a game, Tom, but I think he sees that his team needs a little bit of a spark here.
So you see Patterson, and that left hand in the first half, he had that wrap on the left
right hand
thumb, right hand rather, yes.
And he said that the word was that it was bothering him, so he just took it off. We'll see if that has any positive effect.
Lane violation by Thompson, so Robinson will get another chance.
Normally very reliable at the free throw line at 83%. Another great quality that you want in your point guard.
So those points by Robinson ending a 7-0 Virginia Tech run, and we are tied for the first time this afternoon at the Peterson Event Center.
You can see Wilson very slow to bring the ball up over the court, using almost the full 10 seconds.
Meligu hit that 3 moments ago. Shot clock down to 9. Wilson to the rim, and he got fouled. Wilson downshifting into another gear and getting to the basket.
Only 1 free throw attempt in the first half for Virginia Tech, but the clock running down does a nice job on the 2-man game and getting to that right hand, drawing the contact, and getting 2 free throws.
Cameron Wright picked up the foul, his first.
You know, you look at the record, Tom, but I mean, these are These are big minutes and big games for the freshmen, for Melagu, for Wilson, for Trevor Thompson as they go through the rest of this ACC season.
And all of the starters for Virginia Tech have scored as Wilson goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line, his first point of the afternoon.
Nice block by Thompson on the weak side.
Pitt had some nice passing going, but Thompson made the defensive play.
I think the question for Virginia Tech didn't get much from their bench because of that lack of depth. Is there going to be a factor in the last 10 minutes of this game? Can they finish off this game?
Eddie, who had 9 points in the first half, all on three-pointers. Shot clock is at 6. Raines. And he got fouled as he drew a double team. Second on Young. So Darian Raines did not score in the first half. He had a nice game against Florida State, leading the way with 13 points on Wednesday. That was a loss for Virginia Tech. Just one conference win. But this would be huge for this Hokie team.
And the thing is, too, that they only shot one free throw in the first half, never got into the penalty. Already 3 team fouls for Pitt. And they've been much more aggressive, I'm talking about Virginia Tech, in attacking the rim and drawing contact.
Thompson is out. Van Zegeren comes back in. He has scored 8 points. A couple of free throws for Sedarian Raines, the senior from Petersburg, Virginia. Those are his first 2 points of our ball game.
Same hometown and same high school as Moses Malone. Fair player in his day.
Straight to the pros.
Yeah, first one.
Foul against Virginia Tech.
Would have gone to Maryland had he gone to college, had committed and signed, and nobody's heart more broken than Lefty Driesell. Saw maybe his first and only national championship slip away.
Maryland, which is in its final season in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Patterson, now right. Patterson couldn't connect with Robinson, and this is in all likelihood going to be a backcourt violation.
And well, that's when you look at the standings, Pitt up in third spot. The new teams coming in have announced their presence with authority. How about Virginia? They've been really impressive to me. Just 9 guys. They have depth this year playing as a team. Came in here a few games ago to get a win.
Raines taps it in. Mike, this is the number 15 team in the conference against the number 3 team in the standings, and Virginia Tech is controlling play. Its largest lead as we go to break. The Hokies in front of the Panthers.
Edit
With Virginia Tech up by 5, it is time for our direct auto insurance coverage of the game.
They've really done a nice job defensively in this game. Some steals early. Their bigs inside, a couple blocks here in the second half. Very much a team effort for Virginia Tech. And Jamie Dixon, again, not happy. Pitt looking kind of lifeless out there, Tom, to this point in this game, to be frank.
Well, Mike, when you consider that Lamar Patterson, who leads this team in scoring, doesn't have a point on the afternoon. He is 0 for 3 from the field, has not attempted a shot in the second half. 5 assists, though.
Well, Zana doesn't have any. He has 5 points. You give your 2 leading scorers who combined for 32 points have given you 5 so far.
Patterson blocked by Raines. Patterson trying to use all of his skills to somehow get in the box score. And Raines got in the way. Shot clock at 10 for Pittsburgh.
They're just daring them to beat them from the outside. Really compact zone.
Zana. Right to follow.
Yeah, so, he played great defense. You've got to rebound that miss. And you let a guard sneak into the zone, and that hurts you on that. You got the center to take a long jump shot, but they still get 2 points.
That's 11 points now for Cameron Wright. 14th time this season he has achieved double figures in scoring. Shot clock to 7. And Meligu. Pass 4 defenders. Van Zekeren could not handle the pass. So the Hokies turn it over. It is a 3-point game. 15-17 to go in the second half. ACC College Hoops is brought to you by Motel 6, the presenting partner of ACC basketball on Fox Sports South. The colors of the Pittsburgh Panthers on just about every item you could imagine. Right now, though, the Panthers trailing Virginia Tech 34-31. And across the way from our broadcast position, it's the Hall of Famer Dick Groat. 35th season, Mike, as the analyst on Pittsburgh radio broadcast.
The first player to have his jersey retired at Duke back in 1952. Went on an outstanding baseball career, and amazingly, 83 years young, still behind the microphone here. Loves his Pitt Panthers.
Yeah, 2 World Series rings. And, of course, we know who the second player to have his number retired at Duke was. The guy sitting next to me, Mike Jaminski. So happy you joined us this afternoon as we crank up a huge Saturday in the ACC with a fantastic matchup so far. Initially on paper, maybe you would not think so. This is the 15th team in the standings in the ACC against the 3rd team in the standings, Pittsburgh.
Well, and Eddie's been quiet in this half, but I think he and Ameligu the key really for this team in the second half.
Shot clock is at 5 for Wilson. Step back, knocked away by Robinson. Patterson on a 4-on-2 break and right, missed the finish. Foul on the play by Van Zegeren as Jamel Artis had a chance at it. That'll be the third on Van Zegeren. Time for the Toyota trivia question. We ask you, how many seasons has the Peterson Event Center been a sellout? Now, this is the 12th year of this fantastic building. Artis is at the free throw line. In fact, Pittsburgh has won 14 of its last 16 home games, Mike, and 33 of its last 38, but Virginia Tech going for the upset bid this afternoon.
Yeah, that would be quite a win for them. And you look over the past 12, 13 years, this has been one of the most dominant home courts in the country.
First point of the game for Jamel Artis. And it makes it a 2-point difference. Virginia Tech in control of the basketball.
It seems like Jamie Dixon has spent 26 minutes trying to jumpstart his team. I mean, he's just been trying to get them going.
So a foul against Pittsburgh.
Both teams with 14 fouls.
In traffic. They gave that foul to Robinson, so that'll be his second for Pittsburgh. Virginia Tech's only win here in Pittsburgh back in 1967. Shot clock at 8. Last win in the series, 1980, as Eddie misses. Raines offensive glass, knocked away. Second effort. Darian Raines.
And Virginia Tech continuing to dominate things inside on the glass. Great second and third effort by Raines. Yeah, it's something very wrong right now with Lamar Patterson. And here's Raines, and he was calling for the ball, but had inside position and then just out-fought everybody. Tom, look at all the white jerseys just nailed to the floor right there. He was the one who hustled after the ball. Yeah, they're taking Patterson out right now. The right thumb. That was I think the third air ball that he shot in this game, and that is not Lamar Patterson.
Coming off a 25-point performance against Miami, in which in overtime he scored 10 points, a school record for points in overtime to get that OT win for Pittsburgh. In Coral Gables, 59-55. Not the same player today, Mike.
They're really running Eddie off a lot of screens trying to get him a look.
Shot clock to 5 for Eddie.
Missed his last two. Cameron Wright doing a nice job staying with him.
Wright, the smasher.
He's got to be the guy. I think, if they're not going to get anything out of Lamar Patterson going down the stretch, he's got to be the guy to step up.
Now the Hokies have taken a timeout as Cameron Wright now has 13 points in the game. Wright is the guy, Mike, keeping him close to the Hokies.
Yeah, and Zana, another guy, is going to have to step up, but Wright, not really known as a three-point shooter, 23%, has hit a couple of big bombs from the outside, and also has worked his way into the paint as well.
5 of 10 from the floor in the game for Cameron Wright, junior from Cleveland, Ohio. That's amongst 3 defenders on that one, Mike.
Yeah, and you wonder, too, if James Robinson is another guy who steps up his offense, maybe looking to get some rushes up the floor. They haven't had a lot of easy baskets in this game.
That is the student section here at the Peterson Event Center. It is called the Oakland Zoo because we are in the Oakland neighborhood of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And they are going to start to get loud because the Panthers need them right now. Trailing by 2 to upset-minded Virginia Tech. Steele. Artis. Has to regroup. And he double dribbled. Back to Virginia Tech.
Again, Jamie Dixon just furious. And it was a good defensive play by Artis. But, yeah, and he double dribbled a couple times, actually, on that possession. Finally got caught. But if you're a guy like that, you've got to find your point guard quickly and give him the ball.
Great reactions and animation of Jamie Dixon on that Pittsburgh sideline. Captured by our production crew here at the Peterson Event Center. So happy to have you with us for this fantastic matchup. It's going back to Pittsburgh off of the Hokies. There is a timeout on the floor. Jamie Dixon and the Panthers made it a 2-point game. Afternoon in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But guess what? The Hokies have come to play. Terrell Eddy, 3 3-pointers in the first half. Cameron Wright, the leading scorer for Pittsburgh with 13. But Virginia Tech not going away. Jamie Dixon looking for the answers from his Pitt Panthers. And this, just the first outstanding game. There's one right behind us. NC State is at Miami in Coral Gables right after us, Mike.
I think it's a huge game for the Wolfpack, too. Only one win away from Raleigh on the this year. And they need to stay within shouting distance of the top half of the conference. A win would put them at 5-5.
Three-pointer rattles out from Newkirk. Wilson saves it. Virginia Tech still winning the rebounding battle, 23-15. Pitt came in as the leader in the conference in rebounding margin, over 8 more than their opposition per game. Shot clock at 7. Thompson.
Tough shot with that left-handed jump hook.
Robinson. That's a 2.
Just stepped into it with that right foot to make it a 2, but much needed offense from their point guard.
Newkirk picks up the foul. Second on Newkirk. Here comes Patterson. Again, he still has not scored.
Jarrell Eddy
in the game.
Jarrell Eddy has not scored in this half, so they need to get him reignited. But Pitt has really done a nice job. They've tried to run a ton of baseline screens for Eddy, but they've done a nice job. Cameron Wright guarding him.
So with 10.5 minutes to play in the second half, we are tied for the second time in the game. Virginia Tech is led by as many as 5 here in the second half. Pittsburgh had an 8-point lead in the first half and a 1-point lead at halftime. Eddy turns around and fires on target.
Well, and a mistake that time by Cameron Wright. He overran the play trying to go for the deflection, and it gave Jarrell Eddy a clean look.
Jarrell Eddy now 4 of 8 from three-point distance. Knocked around and taken by Wilson.
Another loose offensive possession for Pitt.
Shot clock's at 5. Wilson squares up. Cameron Wright goes high to get the rebound. Patterson forcing his way to the rim. Tipped up and good. And that's Zana.
That's, you make your mistakes up on the rim, and at least that time it was a nice soft shot that gave him an offensive rebounding opportunity. Credit for Virginia Tech. When you're running a lot of clock like this, they've taken pretty good care of the basketball. That last shot wasn't very good, but they're really shortening the game.
Virginia Tech's only turned it over 11 times. Shot clock down to 8. Wilson, Van Segrin. Patterson has the rebound. Zana trying to escape some defensive pressure. Patterson had it knocked away. You see the frustration from Patterson, who is yet to score, and now he just turned it over.
Not just, you have an injury not only affecting your shot, but your ability to handle the basketball as well.
Clearly Patterson trying to make something happen on the offensive end. Just hasn't found the rhythm. Is dealing with a nagging right thumb injury that has bothered him for the last several games. Shot clock to 2. Meligu shot that one from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The long rebound goes out of bounds. It'll be Pittsburgh basketball. Jarrell Eddy, 12 points, leads the way for Virginia Tech. 4 3-point baskets. A 1-point lead for Virginia Tech on the road at Pittsburgh. Here is your game summary, Mike. And how about what the Hokies have been able to do this afternoon?
Well, it's been easier, and it's, I know, a frustrating day for Lamar Patterson. You don't expect 0 points out of him, but 5 assists. But the big thing, too, Virginia Tech coming in undermanned and beating Pitt on the boards, +4 there.
Virginia Tech just 1-4 on the season away from Blacksburg. But Jarrell Eddy, 4 3-point baskets and 12 points.
And you look, too, Tom, that Pitt shooting 40%, 14 to 35, but only 6 offensive rebounds.
It's going to be a foul against Pittsburgh. Second on Zana. Jamie Dixon just...
He's had a highlight reel of facial expressions this game already.
You have to love the intensity and passion and enthusiasm displayed by the coaches and the student athletes on display here in the Atlantic Coast Conference. It's simply incredible. 15 teams strong.
Well, now Pitt putting a little more pressure in the timeout for Virginia Tech, but they're trying to put a little more pressure on the ball, knowing that Tech trying to run the clock down.
James Johnson, the second-year head coach for Virginia Tech. Not a whole lot to smile about this season, but his team has really put on a display of resilience this afternoon. Hey, right after us, how about NC State and Miami? Ryan Brown for the Canes. T.J. Warren, the leading scorer of the ACC for NC State.
Well, we saw Miami take these Pitt to overtime, and T.J. Warren having an outstanding year. Leads the league in scoring at 22 points a game. Gives you some rebounding as well. But he's going to be tested against that Miami zone. They're really going to try to make the Wolfpack score from the perimeter. Jim Larinaga really, at the beginning of the year, had to redo his whole strategy, and he's not a zone guy, but that's what they play this year.
Miami, the defending champs in the ACC, but losing 5 of their top 6 scorers from a season ago. Wilson tried to get by Wright, who got a piece of Devin Wilson.
Virginia Tech will be shooting for the rest of the game now in the penalty.
That's the second on Wright. Wilson, the Pennsylvania native, misses the front end. Wright went to the deck to save it to Robinson.
I was going to say, this stretch from 7 to 9 for Virginia Tech, the front end of the one-on-ones are going to be critical, so 2 points gone there. All right, and James Robinson stepping up and nailing a 3. Nice shot.
And the zoo is open on a Saturday afternoon. Robinson into double figures with 10 after that 3-pointer from the wing. Wilson fouled again. Third on Wright.
Here's the look. The cross-court pass, and that's what you do against the zone, working from side to side. This crowd just looking for something to grab onto. This is the thing, from the time you get into the bonus until the double bonus, you want to have as many of these shooting fouls as possible so you know you're getting 2 free throws.
63% on the season, Mike.
Only the second point for him, but he's done a nice job of orchestrating this slow-down attack and keeping control of the basketball.
3 assists for Wilson in the game, who has set the pace for this offense. That one drops. 3 points now for Wilson, who at one point during the season had an 11-assist game against Furman, the most by a freshman since Del Curry back in 1982, Mike.
Had a pretty good career in his own right at Virginia Tech. Had his jersey retired.
Yep. We are tied for the third time in the game. Pittsburgh has not led since the 1:17 mark of the first half. 27-26. Can Wright give it back to him? Eddie the rebound.
Wilson getting called for carrying the ball that time, turned it over.
That's the 12th in the game. Well, for Virginia Tech.
Pitt in the last 5 minutes has really amped up their pressure on the ball. They're going to make the Hokies work for it, try to turn them over as much as they can.
Robinson stepped in. He'll get some free throws.
Robinson using the screen that time, the little hop into the lane.
Trevor Thompson picked up the foul for Virginia Tech, his third. Robinson has made his 2 free throw attempts so far this afternoon.
Robinson actually played off the ball last year. Meligu coming back in the ball game. Robinson absolutely playing off the ball last year, and this year the primary ball handler. Not an easy transition to make.
Newkirk back in as well for Pittsburgh as Patterson still scoreless to the bench. Newkirk has 6 all in the first half. Van Zegeren comes down with it. Robinson empty from the line.
We talked to 83% too. He's missed 3, I think, today already.
Meligu, who has 2 3-point baskets, favoring that right ankle. Battling through the pain. Entry. Van Zegeren whips it to Raines. Wright knocked it away and tipped it to Newkirk.
Wow, the play of the day so far on either end of the floor.
The Hokies want a timeout. Pittsburgh has seized the lead in the second half on a great hustle play by Cameron Wright. Newkirk with the thunder finish. 2-point lead, Pittsburgh.
Always best to dive into the crowd when you're at home, but what a hustle play by Cameron Wright. And then the finish down at the other end. I think, you know what, a really good counterpoint to that, a good timeout by James Johnson. You want to get the crowd settled down.
Mike, time to revisit our Toyota trivia question. We asked you this: how many seasons has the Peterson Event Center been a sellout? The answer is all of them. 206 straight sellouts here at the PEC. And actually, the sellout record goes back to Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. There were 7 at the end of the time at that facility. So the sellout string continues.
Right, and so it goes back to the Ben Howland era here when he really elevated this program. Jamie Dixon, an assistant of his, took it over and they never missed a beat.
Well, Mike, over the last 13 years, the 5th winningest program in the nation. They are 338 and 100. Trying to turn back the Hokies, who have given Pittsburgh everything it could handle on a Saturday afternoon in the ACC. Just some awesome action. Shot clock is at 5. Eddie got in trouble, kicked out of bounds.
15 seconds put back on the clock.
Official Tim Nestor and Jamie Lucky both holding up that 15-second indication.
Really good crew here today along with Sean Hall.
Tech has gone 5.5 minutes without a field goal. A Meligu. Front rim. Wright got fouled and it rims out.
And you can see, we talked about when you have a lower extremity injury, it affects your shooting. Meligu didn't get a lift on that shot. And that long one was just got him out in transition. Cameron Wright didn't get the finish, but does get to the line. It's a big confidence make. Only 65% from the free throw line, so not a lock there.
Lamar Patterson back into the game. 0 for 6 from the floor. 0 for 4 from three-point range for Patterson.
Still have to figure that he's going to play a prominent role in the last 4 minutes of this game.
Patterson almost had it off the free throw miss, but Meligu came in to cover it for the Hokies. Eddie, quick trigger. Oh!
What an answer by Jarrell Eddie. That was one pass up the floor and a quick shot. High score. They did not worry about milking clock on that possession.
That's the 5th made three-pointer in the game for Jarrell Eddie. Patterson thought about 3. Right. Up for grabs and taken by Eddie.
Still very few second chance opportunities for Pitt on misses.
Wilson. All the way to the rim. He changed hands in midair, Mike.
Tough enough to finish going to your right, but he made an awesome play with that left hand.
And he has given Virginia Tech a 46-44 lead.
We talk about a sophomore. This is a freshman playing with a lot of poise. How about that? Avoiding the block inside, going up to the left.
The freshman from McKees Rock, Pennsylvania. And it's a 5-0 run in the last minute and 2 seconds for Virginia Tech, up by 2.
That's just right around the corner from this building, so a homecoming of sorts for him. He wanted to have a big game today. Bet he was asking for a lot of tickets on the ride over.
Tough to get him, Mike. As we told you, the Toyota trivia question. They just continue to sell out this building.
The drummer going with the Judge Schmale hat.
Looks good on you, though, Mike. Just to give you some historical perspective, the only win ever for Virginia Tech in Pittsburgh was in 1967 at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. The last win in the series for Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, December of 1980.
I was 8, and Sergeant Pepper had just come out.
There was a big Olympic moment in 1980 as well. That incredible effort by the American hockey team. This not quite on that scale, but it would be a huge upset here should Virginia Tech hang on to this lead.
Well, they won their first league game down in Miami and have lost 9 in a row since.
To shoot for Virginia Tech. Johnson barks out the instruction from the bench. Meligu going to have to improvise. Long distance 3. Rains offensive glass.
Huge play. Really, with the shot clock winding down, Sedarian Rains bails them out with an offensive rebound and a fresh 35.
We're inside of 2 minutes to go, Mike Jaminski. Pittsburgh's won 4 in a row in the series.
They need to have Wilson with the ball in his hands with the clock running down.
Traveling against Wilson. Full step aside. James Johnson of the Hokies up by 2. 1:40 to go. Virginia Tech by 2 against the number 25 team in the nation, Pittsburgh Panthers. There's how it looks. A couple of timeouts for the Panthers, one for the Hokies. The arrow favoring Pittsburgh. Joel Eddy, 5 made threes in the game.
Next foul puts Pitt at the line for the 1-on-1 in penalty situation.
What a way to start a Saturday in the ACC. Virginia Tech, if you look at the standings, 15th. Pittsburgh, 3rd.
Well, normally this time of the game it'd be a no-brainer that Lamar Patterson is your guy. Not scored in this game, though, 0-6 because of that injured hand.
The right thumb has bothered Patterson throughout the game. Nagging injury over the last few games for Patterson.
Doesn't look like anybody else is in a hurry to step up here.
Shot clock's at 9. Patterson can't get free. Drops it off in the corner. Artist misses. Players diving for the basketball, and it's taken by Raines. A minute to go.
Now there's Jamie Dixon just asking for one possession, no fouls, and get the rebound.
Only once has Virginia Tech won in Pittsburgh. Whistle. Robinson picked up the foul, his 3rd.
This could be a turning point, too, because you've got Van Zegeren at the line. It's a 1-on-1 situation and a 33% shooter.
He has missed his only attempt in the game. It came in the first half, where Van Zegeren had 8 points. He has not scored in the second half. Now Pittsburgh wants a substitution. It'll be Newkirk for Patterson on a forgettable afternoon. Again, dealing with that thumb injury.
Yeah, and Jamie Dixon trying to pump him up, and how many times has he been taken out of the game on an offensive possession late? Wow. Yep, banked it in. I'll tell you, that was not that was not on purpose, but sometimes the backboard can be your ally. What a huge break for Virginia Tech.
Something like that happens, Mike. You think maybe, just maybe, it's our afternoon. And that one was textbook.
Look at the bench explode.
7-0 run, Virginia Tech. Seconds ticking away for the Panthers. Just a 4-second difference. Shot and game clock. And a foul out of the corner and a three-pointer by Robinson.
Big play, stepping up, Eddy trying to go for the block, and the 4-point play opportunity. Here's a better look at it. Just go out, recover, get your hand up, but do not foul in that situation.
Simply incredible. James Robinson with a chance to tie this game with 33.4 seconds to go.
Yeah, but he's been a little shaky at the line. 2 of 4 you saw. Normally he's very solid at 83%.
A 1-point halftime lead for Pittsburgh. Virginia Tech went up by as many as 5 early in the second half. Just had a couple of free throws from Van Zegeren.
Yeah, they're just checking to see if in fact that was a 3-point basket. It was. Chance to tie it up. Now if you're Virginia Tech, you want to make sure if he does make this that you make sure you get the last shot of the game.
So again, no timeout credited to Virginia Tech. So the Hokies still have 1. They still have 1. 2 for Pittsburgh. Points for James Robinson. 30 seconds to go, and we're tied at 48 and a timeout. Virginia Tech Mike, time for our Staples Make More Happen moment. The hustle from Cameron Wright, the finish by Newkirk, and Pittsburgh took a 2-point lead.
Yeah, that was just an outstanding play, and it really sparked not only the team, but the crowd more than anything else at all, and it was a terrific hustle play. He's had to pick up the scoring slack for Lamar Patterson, but that play really ignited everybody.
What a play by Cameron Wright, who in addition to that has 14 points to lead the way along with his teammate James Robinson, who also has 14. Well, coming up next, ACC scoring leader T.J. Warren at NC State visits South Florida for a battle with Ryan Brown and the Miami Hurricanes. It's the second half of our ACC doubleheader Saturday on ACC College Hoops.
Well, you talked about all that was gone from last year. Ryan Brown, really their sixth man last year, has stepped up and 20 points 4 times so far, 14 points a game. He's so capable. Talk about T.J. Warren. He's capable of having a big day himself.
Mike, don't feed the animals. The zoo is open on a Saturday in Pittsburgh, the Oakland Zoo.
Well, you want to give yourself the last shot here, Tom, but also give yourself a couple of seconds for an offensive rebound, too.
20 seconds remaining. Wright knocked it away. 3 players go to the deck. Held ball situation.
Either way, it's Pitt's ball.
It will be Pittsburgh basketball. 2.7 to go.
That was a good defensive play that time by Robinson, moving his feet. And then again, Cameron Wright coming in and from the weak side making the play.
We just showed you Cameron Wright with the hustle, jumping up on the scoring table and saving it to his teammate for a couple of points to put Pittsburgh in front. Well, right now we're tied at 48, 2.7 to go.
Still plenty of time for a long throw and catch and shoot.
Now Jamie Dixon is going to call a timeout.
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion out on the floor. I think they're going to take a look at it just to see how much time is on the clock.
They are, Mike. Jamie Luckey has gone over to the monitor along with Sean Hull. They're going to make sure they get this one right because as it stands right now, 2.7 on the clock. Let's watch it.
There's the play from the weak side. Terrific defense. It's when they acknowledge it. It's 2 points. I don't know that any time is going to cut. It's going to be held 2.7.
And in fact, it will remain 2.7 to go in regulation. Pittsburgh, they just did this on Wednesday, Mike. They went to overtime at Miami. For Virginia Tech, its overtime came in its first league win this season, and that was also at Miami on December 8th. That's the first and only league win for Virginia Tech this year. So both of these teams with a little OT experience this season.
And you wonder, we'll see if it's a long pass to advance the ball, or if they just let Robinson, if they get him the ball on the fly and let him work his way up the floor for a shot.
What play do you like in this situation, Mike? Considering the personnel for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, let's see. They got Zana out of the game, and interesting with their injured right hand, they've got Patterson taking the ball out of bounds.
Newkirk is right in front of our broadcast position. Eddie's on him. Raines will guard the inbounds from Patterson.
And he can't move.
Right. 2 seconds. Gets it away.
I don't think it would have counted. I think it was late.
So we are headed for bonus basketball. Tied at 48 at the Peterson Event Center.
Now, there are a couple of things going on here. You would normally think one advantage Pitt because they're at home. But with Patterson injured, that mitigates that a little bit. But then how much does Virginia Tech have left in the tank with the way they've been playing? It's been a slow-down game, but still they've really relied heavily on their starters.
So one of the huge reasons that Virginia Tech is even in this overtime has got to be Jarrell Eddy. 15 points, leading scorer for Virginia Tech, Mike. But that includes 5 made three-pointers.
Yeah, he missed his first layup, but really came back and got a lot of confidence. Took him a little while to get going in the second half, but made some big shots.
5 of 9 from three-point range. And all of his points have come off the three-point shot this afternoon. Simply amazing. You just don't know what you're going to get, Mike. I mean, really. Every night, every day, every afternoon in the ACC.
Well, that's why every coach worries about every game. Because for Jamie Dixon, there's no reason to think that, all right, 1-9, Virginia Tech coming in here. They're depleted. Our building, we've lost 2 in a row here, so we should have our guys' attention coming in. But then you get a 0 from your leading scorer because of injury, and things change.
Mike, let's examine one of the critical plays of the final seconds of this game. It is Robinson in the corner for 3. He got fouled on the play and completed the 4-point play.
Yeah, and you wonder without that, I mean, it would have been a 1-point game had Jarrell Eddy not fouled in that situation.
Second 3 of the game for Robinson, who started his scoring afternoon with a 3-pointer. That a huge one. And 3 3-pointers in total for Robinson. Lamar Patterson quiet this afternoon.
Not real strong body language from Virginia Tech coming out. It looks like a very tired basketball team.
An extra 5 minutes to decide this one in Pittsburgh. We told you that Virginia Tech had not beaten Pittsburgh since 1980, not won here in Pittsburgh since 1967. A lot of historical perspective around this game, and the Hokies have given it a superb effort on the road against the Panthers, who made the shots they needed to make to get this game to overtime. Virginia Tech with the last 3 minutes of the game without a field goal. Knocked out by Wright. Immediately following the completion of our game, it is NC State at Miami. The second game of our ACC doubleheader. Shot clock is at 4. Does Wilson recognize? Knocked out by Robinson, and now the shot clock is at 2.
So a quick hitting play here. Pitt doing a nice job in the last 10 seconds shooting through the gaps.
Trying to get it on the rim to Van Zagren, who pushed off. He's trying to get to the alley-oop play from Meligu, and he ran over Robinson.
Yeah, James Robinson, so many times if you're a big, you get in there, you got a shorter guy on you, you want to get that little extra advantage. And credit Robinson for hanging in there and making that play difficult.
For the second straight game, Pittsburgh going to overtime. Van Zagren out, Reigns in. Van Zagren now with 4 personals. Right against 2 defenders.
And 1 and out for Pitt. They're having a tough time trying to figure out how to play. That time Patterson set the screen.
Reigns trying to work on the block against Zana. Jump hook out of bounds. Pittsburgh basketball.
Tough shot that time. Zana did a nice job battling for position. Forced Reigns a few feet out of his range.
Wilson. Zana could not control a pass and knocked away by the quick hands of Sedarian Reigns. Neither team has scored in the extra session. Eddie
tried to post up that time. First time he's done that in this game.
Wilson, escape dribble, fall away jumper. Reigns offensive glass, and he got fouled.
Like I said, the first shot defense has been pretty good for Pitt, but they have had some major lapses inside on the defensive glass. Here's the look, and this is a tough shot, almost a push-off there by Devin Wilson. But Sedarian Reigns just out-battling everybody inside.
Reigns with 7. He's got 8 rebounds as well. All of his points coming in the second half.
They've had Van Zegeren step up and make 2 big free throws. Reigns at 60% from the line. Perfect 3 for 3 so far today, though.
So Reigns gives Virginia Tech a 2-point lead. Robinson, 4-point play near the end of regulation to help the Panthers get it to overtime, but that shot comes up well short.
Well, it's a tough position for him to be in. He doesn't play a ton of minutes, only 14 on the year, averages 3, and especially in an overtime close game.
Officials are
saying that he got Zana's motioning like he got elbowed that time, and it was that right elbow by Reigns trying to post up.
Looks like the officials are going to go to the monitor.
Check to see if this was a flagrant foul or not.
So Virginia Tech, Mike, is trying to stop a 9-game losing streak.
Yeah, this is the first look at right there that posting up. He had both of his arms up pretty high, and this is the better look right here. The left elbow clearing out and then coming back with the right.
Hard to tell, Mike, if there's any malicious intent there.
Well, not that, but once you get once you get the elbows up that high. Through it all, Jamie Dixon gets extra time to yell at his team. And they want Sean Hall and Jamie Lucky looked at it, and I don't know that they could come to a conclusion on it, because they now asked Tim Nestor to go over, take a look at. Here's the play again. Initially that left arm up and then the right arm back, and that's the one that Zana reacted to.
Now both coaches will get the official word from the referees.
And they're going to call no play on in that situation. So underneath out of bounds for Virginia Tech.
So no foul against Reigns, as the officials made a review on the monitor of the play. Reigns is wide open. Tries to get closer, and Patterson gets in his way, impeding his progress. Shot clock to 10. Wilson lost it, then he grabbed Patterson by the ankle, fearing a run out from Pittsburgh.
Now they're going to look to see, again, on the intentional foul. There's been some interesting calls here late, and he's just basically tackling him.
Well, it appeared that Wilson was watch. He's trying to grab for the ball first, Mike,
Right.
and then he gets the knee, and then he decides I'm hanging on for dear life. So that's the second on Wilson, but again, they're looking at the monitor. Correction, third now on Wilson. So this is our second official review in about 10 seconds. Back-to-back plays, back-to-back sequences. So as it turns out, Virginia Tech, after Raines tried to get to the basket, never got a shot attempt. James Johnson pleading his case with the officials, and sure enough, intentional.
Yeah, they're going to call that. And possession. There's the look again. The reason why is because there's nobody back for Virginia Tech, and it's taking away a scoring opportunity.
That's the freshman Devin Wilson from nearby McKees Rock, Pennsylvania. An intentional foul.
Well, and now Patterson, who hasn't scored in this game.
And he still has not scored. Hard to believe. That thud, a grotesque sound for the crowd here at Peterson Event Center.
Well, James
Johnson a little different.
Yeah, this guy is an 80% shooter, and what a tough position for him to be in with that right thumb injury.
Pittsburgh does get possession on the intentional foul. We're inside of 2 minutes to go. Foul on the drive.
And you can see Patterson. I mean, he's just been relegated to being a screener in this offense. Robinson now has had to really pick up the scoring load.
Here we go. Two.
$15 points for James Robinson, the leading scorer for Pittsburgh, can tie it up.
He and Cameron Wright have been the guys. Neither
He
of them.
hit a lot of rim, didn't he?
Yeah, it's just been one of those days. He's lost a little bit of his confidence at the line.
Tied at 50 and 1:40 to go in overtime. Raines. Patterson knocked it away. And then he got fouled.
Well, maybe not a bad play with the way he's been shooting free throws. But not a good decision by Sedarian Raines right there. I mean, they're playing one-on-one. Too many dribbles in the paint area. Patterson making the play defensively and then gets fouled.
And now Patterson has a chance to go back to the free throw line. Maybe one of the biggest roars of the afternoon. Lamar Patterson, his first point of the game, but it gives Pittsburgh a 1-point lead in OT.
What we talked about, we thought he'd figure prominently in some role. Did it on both ends of the floor that time.
The zoo loves it. Does Tech have an answer? Eddie. Robinson had it for a moment. Raines got it back. How did he do it, Mike?
Again, well, they decided couldn't get the ball initially, and he's just been everywhere. Hasn't been able to score, but has gotten second chance opportunities.
Final 45 seconds. OT and a foul against Pittsburgh. Cameron Wright. Fourth on Wright.
Here we go.
There it is, and this is a tough shot. And again, he is just outfought. It was actually Van Zegeren who kept it alive, knocked it off the floor, and allowed Reigns to come in. Well, regardless of what happens, if you're Virginia Tech, you know you're getting the last possession. There's 8.5 seconds between shot and game clock.
4 of 6 in the game from the line for the freshman, and he knocks them both down. 7 points in the game for Devin Wilson. Mike, we haven't had a field goal made in overtime. We're tied at 52, all free throws.
Haven't heard from Cameron Wright in overtime either. Jamie Dixon not happy with that possession going.
Timeout by the Panthers. We're in overtime, tied at 52, 33.6 seconds to go. See how tight this game has been. We're tied at 52 in the first OT. 7 ties, 10 lead changes. Jarrell Eddy, 15 points, all from three-point baskets. And Patterson, 2 free throws, Mike, in overtime.
Yeah, 2 huge free throws to come back from that. And the 3 versus 15 right now in overtime tied.
Incredible. You can only imagine what it's going to be like in Greensboro, Mike, with 15 teams there. This may be just a little bit of a appetizer as to what we may expect when we head to that ACC tournament.
Starting a day earlier this year on Wednesday instead of Thursday. 3 games.
The Greensboro Coliseum is the destination. What an afternoon in Pittsburgh. It has been sensational. All the credit in the world to these student athletes who fight so hard for their schools and their teams and their coaches. And right after us, it's more outstanding student athletes. NC State at Miami. Coral Gables, that's coming up at the conclusion of our game.
Well, consider, too, Tom, if Virginia Tech should win this game, the ramifications for Pitt, not only losing their 3rd home game, but also with their leading scorer, and you don't know how long that's going to linger.
And the next game for Pittsburgh, Mike, is Wednesday. It is here, but it's against #1 Syracuse. And they've already played this season. They lost at Syracuse January 18th, 59-54. So that's what lies ahead for Pittsburgh. Right now, some work to do. The final 30 seconds of this overtime. Tied at 52. Shot clock's at 8. Patterson. The 3 is long. Here's Wilson. 8 seconds to go.
They're going to go without a timeout.
Wilson dribbling. 3 seconds. Trying to get the shot up. The clock runs out. And we are headed to double overtime.
Why not?
Incredible. Catch your breath. Basketball continues at the Peterson Event Center after this. Second overtime of our game is just moments away. We're tied at 52. We were tied at 48 after regulation. Oh, social media blowing up, as the kids say, here at the Peterson Event Center.
So the last one, not calling the timeout and putting the ball in Devin Wilson's hands. He's made some nice plays. Yeah, just no foul right there. That's a good no call by the referees.
So Devin Wilson, he's from McKees Rock, Pennsylvania. You can see at Montour High School all the great football records that he established. So this guy's an all-around athlete without question. These two teams, Mike, missed all three of their field goal attempts in the first OT. Here comes OT number 2.
Fatigue a factor both sides, but Virginia Tech more so.
Robinson knocked it away, and it's back to Pittsburgh. So again, no field goals by either team in the OT. It was all free throws, and here we are in double overtime. Newkirk remains in the lineup for Pittsburgh. Shot clock inside of 10. Patterson fall away. And he get the bounce.
Wow. And credit him, the guy just keeps on digging. Injury is his first made field goal of the day.
You called it, Mike. You said he'd be a factor. Well, maybe it took him into overtime and double overtime. But number 21 has finally showed up. Now, granted, he is dealing with that right thumb injury. And now the foul might go against Patterson. And it will.
This is tough when you're going left and finishing right. That's not an easy shot. We heard Trevor Thompson had an early good part of the game, but we hadn't heard from him in a while.
Scored 6 points in the first half. Had not scored until those free throws, and now he's got 8.
I'll tell you what, the Virginia Tech bigs have stepped up and shot free throws. Not something that they're known for.
Patterson's field goal, the only made basket from the floor in overtime by the two teams combined. Tied at 54. Wright was hanging. Thompson met him, but got a piece of him. They will give the foul to Van Segrin, and that'll be number 5.
This is basically a free timeout, something I don't like. You get 20 seconds to replace a player, but you also get a chance to talk to your team.
So Van Segrin will leave the game with 10 points. Also had 5 rebounds. That was 4 of 6 from the floor. Well, here's Wright at the free throw line for Pittsburgh.
Stepping up, and he's made some really big defensive plays in this game.
4 for 5 from the line for Cameron Wright, and 16 points. Tied for the team lead with his teammate James Robinson, who also has 16. Pittsburgh by 2. 3:20 on the game clock. Second overtime. Hokies and Panthers.
And Melagu's going to want. He's really going to be struggling out there with his foot injury.
Melagu well beyond the line. Robinson the rebound. Wright fouled. Can't get the bucket, but Thompson is going to pick up the foul.
Tom, that is the second or third time. Now, he's going to get to the line, but he has not been able to finish layups. He has had several three-point play opportunities.
So Trevor Thompson now has also fouled out, Mike. Thompson will leave.
And Christian Byer is going to come in, who has not seen the floor yet today.
So there's Thompson, 8 points and 6 rebounds, but again disqualified with 5 personal fouls. James Robinson with the attention of Mr. Thompson, but he will have to leave. Receiving congratulations from his teammates, but he is out. Straight free throws in double overtime for Cameron Wright and 18 points. And Pittsburgh in front of the Zoo is up by 4.
Time for some poise from Virginia Tech and a solid possession here.
Eddie. Newkirk.
I think you're Terrell Eddie. I mean, they got Robinson on him. You got to try to work into the lane and use your size. With their bigs fouling out, really cuts into the second chance and rebounds and falls on the reins right now, alone.
Shot clock to 9. Newkirk, 3, short. Byer. And now Wilson trying to rush it up, got fouled, almost had the three-point play chance.
Normally things dictate that if you don't have numbers, you pull it back, and this was basically a two-on-one break. Devin Wilson able to get in there and get to the line.
Wilson had a couple of free throws in the first overtime. 5 of 8 now from the line for Wilson. I told you that Wilson is a Western Pennsylvania native. Players always looking forward to performing in their hometown area. And Wilson now with 8.
Nice bounce back. This time now, for the last couple of possessions, Pitt has been the deliberate team, trying to run that clock down as far as they can.
We're inside of 2 minutes. Second overtime. Pittsburgh and Virginia Tech. Keep an eye on that shot clock. Down to 7 now for Pittsburgh. Patterson straight away. Wright tried to run it down, but Byer grabbed it for Virginia Tech.
Oh, pretty good job. Hustle play by Byer, who hasn't been in.
Johnston. Robinson closed quickly on that 3 attempt. Here's Eddie for 3, rattles out. Knocked around and taken by Byer. And another chance for the Hokies. Eddie rising. Reigns came over the top. Battle for the loose ball.
They're going to call foul on Christian Byer.
And Byer will get the foul.
Well, Eddie had a couple of good looks.
So it'll be Newkirk at the free throw line. He's made his only attempt of the game. James Johnson's team has given it everything it has this afternoon.
But I'll tell you, again, where fatigue's setting in with your jump shot short. All of those were short.
Two for Newkirk.
This is a 2-possession game.
9 points for Newkirk. And we have 1 minute to go in our second overtime from Pittsburgh, and a timeout taken by Virginia Tech.
Right now, I mean, you look at the personnel that's out on the floor for Virginia Tech, Tom, and Jarrell Eddie's been taking shots, but Will Johnston's the guy, shoots 37% from three, so he may be an option.
Well, Virginia Tech in the overtimes shooting 0 for 8, Mike, including those misfires by Eddie just moments ago.
Yeah, fatigue setting in. I mean, that's a good look. Well, that's the one that hurt. It was almost down. Gets another opportunity. Short on that shot. Raines doing what he can, but a very good rebound by Newkirk.
So Jarrell Eddie now 5 of 12 from three-point range. All of his points coming from beyond the arc. 15 for Eddie to lead the way for Virginia Tech. You get a look at the reset. 2 timeouts for the Panthers, 1 for the Hokies, and that arrow favors Pittsburgh. 55 seconds to go in OT number 2. Eddie, the miss. Out of bounds to the Hokies. So we were tied at 48 at the end of regulation, Mike. Tied at 52 after the first overtime, and now Pittsburgh is forged in front.
See, I like that, though. I like Eddie attacking the rim rather than the three right now, just because of the fatigue factor.
And now 40 seconds. Johnston, who made 4 3-pointers against Florida State on Wednesday, just cannot get the shot away. Well defended. Wilson hesitation. He got fouled on the drive.
That's terrific recognition by Devin Wilson. They had a 2-man game with Raines, and Zana forced to switch off on him. And when you're a guard, you just drive right at the big guy. So you get that secondary pick and that switch. Forces the foul. Good play.
6 of 9 from the line. Now 7 of 10 for Wilson.
I think, you know, right now with out there, I mean, Virginia Tech has to foul quickly. Newkirk would be the guy, only 1 of 10 in the year coming in.
Wilson to double figures with 10 points here in our second overtime. Pressure applied by Virginia Tech. 25 seconds to go. A 2-point lead for Pittsburgh.
Well, and they chose to wait for Patterson. Go gamble maybe with the injured hand, although he stepped up and made his last 2. Wait a little bit longer than they thought they would in taking that foul. Some time went off the clock.
Patterson, who made 2 free throws of 4 attempts in the first overtime.
Either way, it'll still be a 1-possession game. Still enough time. I don't think you need to go for the bomb right here, Tommy. You can go and drive it in and play the foul game.
So as you can see, Pittsburgh will take this timeout. Jamie Dixon and the Panthers clawing and scratching for a victory against the team that is ranked at the bottom of the standings in the ACC. They're having a chance to come here to Peterson Event Center for only the second time ever as the teams meet at this venue, Mike.
They have really, really fought. It's been an impressive effort on their part.
They played here in 2004. Again, the only meeting at the Peterson Event Center. It was a easy win for Pittsburgh, 78-59. Not the case 10 years later, Mike Jaminski. And the Zoo is now concerned, even though Pittsburgh has a 3-point lead. Virginia Tech, 7 of 21 from 3-point range. That's 33%. And 20 seconds to go on the clock.
Got to defend without fouling.
Wilson drains the tap. Second effort. Panthers come away with it, and Newkirk got fouled.
You know, Zana almost put him in a bad situation that time. He went for a block that he couldn't possibly get, and that allowed Raines on the offensive glass. He almost got that tip. And again, we talked about Newkirk coming in. 1-10. Here's the look. He didn't have a chance of getting that, and that Raines was right there for a point-blank tip.
And amazingly enough, Mike, Virginia Tech in the overtimes, 0 of 11 field goals.
That's a lot of poise right there. Teammates coming up and giving him some love. Big shots for him.
Virginia Tech has fought so hard this afternoon. But the clock is running out on the Hokies in their upset bid as Newkirk made 2. Wilson a tough follow away. Tapped around to Johnston. He'll attempt a 3. And that will do it. What a game. In double overtime, Pittsburgh beats Virginia Tech 62-57.
Yeah, a really terrific effort by the Hokies. Undermanned, they fought in a hostile environment, but just not enough left in the tank.
Just amazing. NC State, Miami coming up. For Mike Jaminski, I'm Tom Wormy. Thanks for joining us in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's the Panthers over the Hokies in double OT.
Get 20 of our